I read chapters 5 through 8 of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and now I'm going to talk about it. So everyone's all super freaked out because of the whole Sirius Black thing, and everybody thinks that Harry Potter is gonna die or something. So everyone's like super protective of him. They even sent some wizards to like personally escort him and the Weasleys to the train so they could make their way to Hogwarts. So on the train, there's like this old dude here, maybe not an old guy, but an adult on the Hogwarts Express. And usually there aren't any adults on the Hogwarts Express. It's for the students to go to Hogwarts. Turns out that this guy is the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, Professor Lupin. I guess that's how you say it. If you remember, the last two Defense Against the Dark Arts teachers were both like fuck-ups, and they had to leave for various reasons. So they're on the train, and then all of a sudden, like, everything goes dark and the train comes to a sudden stop. And then, like, all of a sudden, this, like, big, tall, creepy, black hooded figure shows up on the train. And for some reason, this has, like, a physical effect on Harry. It, like, makes him, like, pass out and shit. And apparently this thing is called a Dementor, or Dementor, however you say it. And I guess the Dementors are the aforementioned guards of Azkaban. So these are the things that are going to be keeping, I don't know if they're people or things or what, or creatures, but apparently these are the people that are going to be keeping watch at Hogwarts so that Sirius Black doesn't come and kill everybody, I guess. Apparently being in the presence of a Dementor just makes everyone feel really shitty. It like makes you cold, and everyone was just like, it makes you feel sad. But it had a particularly profound effect on Harry for some reason, which we'll probably learn why at some point. So the Dementors are standing watch like outside the school, I guess, and the kids are instructed that they can't walk around, they can't leave the premises without permission, and apparently Dementors can't be fooled by magic, like, and Dumbledore made specifically mention that invisibility cloaks don't work on them either, and that's like Harry and Ron's jam, is sneaking out invisibility cloaks. And, so I think Dumbledore was sort of fucking with them. So they go to the school, and as usual, they have like a big feast on the first day of school, and they're like going through all of the, the news and telling all the students what's popping. And we learn that after having his name cleared in the last adventure, Hagrid has become the new Care of Magical Creatures instructor. Is that what it's called? Care of Magical Creatures. Because the previous professor has decided to retire, I guess. So Hagrid's the new Care of Magical Creatures instructor. And that's perfect for Hagrid, because almost any time we see Hagrid, he's fucking with some weird creature or something like that. So, awesome. So now they've started their classes, and the book is making a big deal about the fact that Hermione is taking like a whole bunch of classes at once, and I guess they're going to elaborate on that in the future because they're mentioning it a lot. But there's something weird about how she's doing it, apparently, because she's got like 3 classes scheduled for the same time, and she's like ripping, running around. She's being really like shady and secretive about it. So who knows what's going on with that. And so Harry, Ron, and Hermione, they go to their divination class. And divination is apparently just like fortune telling, or like telling the future, that sort of thing. So basically, if you're writing a children's book and you want to put some easy foreshadowing in there, just put a fucking fortune teller in there. And apparently there are mixed opinions. The professor is Professor Trelawney, I think that's how you say it. And there's mixed opinions about divination. Now, Trelawney is apparently no hack. Like, she was able to predict certain things that were going to happen in the future. Like, she said that Neville was going to break his cup. And I don't know if that was actually like a premonition, because Neville is like known to be like an idiot. So, probably anybody could have predicted that he was going to break his cup. But she was like, hey, after you break your cup, can you hand me the other one? And is, trying to be cool. And of course, Hermione doesn't like divination class, because Hermione is all about studying and hard work. She's not all about this fortune mumbo jumbo, like, I have a feeling that it works. So she's like a little bit annoyed, in divination class. But yeah, like I'm saying with the foreshadowing, easy foreshadowing, she goes, around Easter, one of our number will leave us forever. And it's like, okay, well, obviously that's going to come back into play. And then they do some kind of thing where they made tea, and then I think like the shape that the stain at the bottom of the cup after they drink the tea is supposed to tell them something about their future. And of course, when Harry Potter looks at his teacup, his is special for some reason. And Professor Trelawney is really upset by this. She says that Harry has the Grim. The Grim, my dear, the Grim, cried Professor Trelawney, who looked shocked that Harry hadn't understood. The giant spectral dog that haunts churchyards. My dear boy, it is an omen, the worst omen of death. So, yeah. Of course, Harry has the Grim. But when they go to Transfiguration class with Professor McGonagall, after that, McGonagall's like, yeah, don't listen to her. She's just a crazy old lady. She predicts that someone's going to die every time, and nobody ever dies. So next, they go to Care of Magical Creatures with Hagrid. Hagrid lets them meet these creatures that are like half horse, half eagle, which I assume the thing on the front of the book is one of those things. And they're called hippogriffs. So not a griffin. I said it was a griffin, but it's actually a hippogriff. And Hagrid tells the kids that hippogriffs are very proud, so you have to be gentle and you can't insult them, because if you insult them, then they may attack you. And so as sort of a demonstration, Hagrid invites Harry to interact with one of the hippogriffs, and this one is named Buckbeak. And I guess since this one has a name, then it'll probably be a character that we see again later. Maybe the one on the front is Buckbeak. But you have to you gotta make contact with the hippogriff, and then you have to bow to it, and then you have to just hope that it accepts you. It's like, fuck all that, man. That's too much work. But of course the hippogriff was okay with Harry, and he let Harry get on his back and fly him around. They can fly, and it was awesome. So maybe worth. So after this, it's Draco Malfoy's turn, and of course Draco Malfoy is going to be an asshole about the whole thing, and he insults the bird. I guess it's not a bird, it's a hippogriff. I shouldn't call it a bird, but he insults the hippogriff. He calls it a great ugly brute, and the hippogriff totally fucked him up. I think he legit slashed him, he was bleeding and shit. And we know that the nurse at Hogwarts can apparently heal almost anything, because in the last book Harry Potter literally broke his arm, and she just gave him some fucking pills or something, and it just grew right back. So Malfoy's gonna be fine, but of course he exaggerates and makes it seem like he's dying, and he wants Hagrid to be fired. And now Hagrid thinks that he actually may be fired, so he's really sad, and he's he doesn't know what to do. Eventually they finally get to go to the new Defense Against the Dark Arts class with Professor Lupin. And unlike the previous Defense Against the Dark Arts teachers, Professor Lupin actually appears to be cool and competent. And for the first lesson, he takes all of the kids into the staff room, and he introduces them to a creature called a Bogart. Tell me how to pronounce that. And what the Boggarts do is they are shapeshifters, and they shapeshift into what they think you are afraid of the most. So I guess that it can read your mind and decide what you're afraid of. But apparently the key to defeating a Boggart is laughing at it. I don't, this is what? So what you have to do is, since it reads your mind and tries to turn into something frightening, you have to use your mind to make it turn into something funny instead. And that's how you defeat it. I didn't write it. So Neville Longbottom, apparently the thing that he's frightened of the most is Professor Snape. I mean, I guess he's pretty creepy, but that's the thing that scares you the most out of all the things is your fucking teacher. Cool. So the idea is the Boggart comes out and it turns into something, and then you do the spell ridiculous, and then it turns into another thing that's funny to you, and that's how you beat it. The thing comes out and it turns into Professor Snape, and they do the ridiculous, and then he turns into Professor Snape except wearing grandma clothes. And then so they go like one by one. It goes from student to student, each turning into something scary, and then they turn into something funny. So everyone had to sort of think of what their greatest fear was and how they might change that fear into something funny. But Harry was like, he couldn't think of what it was, and so it was going like from kid to kid, and right when it was about to get to Harry, Professor Lupin sort of like jumped in front of him and took his place, basically. So there's two interesting things about that. It's like, A, did he know what it would do to Harry? Did he know that something specific would happen to Harry and that's why he didn't let Harry do it? Maybe. Also, when Professor Lupin did it, what the boggart turned into was like this white orb. And like, what's that about? So after that cool, awesome lesson, all the kids like Professor Lupin and they love Defense Against the Dark Arts. It's like their favorite class now. So in typical Harry Potter fashion, they're like setting up a lot of stuff and leaving a lot of things sort of missing, just leaving it up to your imagination. And so it's pretty cool. It keeps you reading, I guess, because you want to know just what the hell is going on. Like I said before, this book starts out a lot more interesting than the last one. You sort of like jump right into the action and you get introduced to all the major plot points pretty quickly. And I'm sure there's more to come since I'm still at the beginning of the book. But it's going pretty good. I like it. I know it's been a while since the last Harry Potter video, but I said this from the beginning. I don't know if you saw the first episode, but I said I don't know how long it's going to take me. I don't read a lot. I just read just when I feel like it, you know. So it may be like 3 months before the next video, or it may be next week. But I'm going to try to do at least one every month, maybe 2. Anyway, thank you for watching my video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoy this series, and keep a lookout for the next video. Thanks for watching my video. Hope you liked it. If you enjoy me or my videos, please consider supporting me on Patreon. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's similar to Kickstarter, except instead of supporting one big project, you're supporting someone who does an ongoing project like a YouTube channel. So if you really like what I do and you'd like to support me even more, consider that. There's a link on the screen, and I thank you whether you do it or not. Thanks for watching, and I hope you watch the next video.